And let me start the music. Let's see if we can get some. Can you hear the music?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very fancy show.
I
Very
love it.
fancy. We're now streaming on, LinkedIn has got us. Okay, we're just about ready. So let me start the show here. Come on, Facebook, you can do it. You can do it. All right. We got dance with me, Mika. Show those moves. Oh, look at her. Oh, I want to go to the disco with her. She's going to attract a lot of attention. Happy birthday! It's someone's day. Is it yours? It's not mine.
Not today.
Mine was last week. I have flowers all over the
Happy
house.
birthday.
Thank you. I told my kids it looks like a funeral parlor here.
Oh gosh.
Pop, pop, ba da ba ba da ba da da pop, pop, da 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 da. Thank you to the Suno Orchestra. We appreciate you. We're just going to stop that. I'm going to give the orchestra a break there. Okay. Welcome, welcome,
Awesome.
welcome. This is HB2U. I'm Bonnie D with my special, very glamorous guest, Mika C. Carter, if you're looking for a Mika. Before I get started, would you please take 2 or 3 sentences? I'll be very generous today and tell people who you are and what you
Sure.
do, and then we'll start. Go.
Absolutely. I'm Mika Carter, founder of Just Conversion Marketing, and we're located in the Houston, Texas area. What I do is I help businesses, primarily kitchen and bath dealers and other service-based businesses, to generate leads, but also nurture and improve their conversions. And what that means is spend less to get more. So if people are struggling with where's my marketing dollars going and how do I make sure that the more money that I put into my marketing turns into valuable dollars and nothing is falling through the cracks of my marketing funnel. That's really what I do is I help improve those conversions.
Thank you. Very much needed in today's very busy, very chaotic, very cacophony marketing place all over
Mhm.
the map. Social is 24/7, 95 hours a day. We all know that. We all need help. Thank you,
Yes.
Mika. Let me open with my poem today and then we'll get started. It's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. It's October 16th. Happy birthday to you and you and you. By the way, when's your birthday, Mika?
March 6th.
March. Okay, we'll come back and do another show with you then. With Bonnie D on her
Mhm.
scarlet mic, dishing glam and sass. Oh, yeah, with the vintage spike. I'm the vintage. Mika's a spike. And look who's
Okay.
here with a velvet roar. It's Mika C. Carter, my guest co host du jour. We're naming names in the birthday game from Hollywood Heights to YouTube and LinkedIn and and Instagram and TikTok fame, plus wacky holidays and music history gold. Get ready, darlings. The fun is set to unfold. Grab your party hat. I forgot mine, but I got a lot of hair here. And let the champagne pour. What? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll hold the champagne. HB2U is lighting up October 16th with glam, bam, and more. I think I'm the glam. She's the glam. I'm the bam, and we're both the more. There we go. Let's get started, Mika. I'll start off. We are looking at history events in music. So let me start. 1962. What? At the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C., Motown Records launched their first package tour. Interesting concept. It was called the Motortown Review. They had Mary Wells and the Contours. Do you love me? I remember that song. They're the big draws. And get this, lower on the bill were Marvin Gaye, the
That's crazy.
Supremes, and Little Stevie Wonder. Mika, 1962, those were second tier draws. Marvin
Incredible.
Gaye, the three of those acts became, well, Mary Wells, of course, the Contours did fine, but Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, so they were just starting out. So, okay, that was 62. What have you got for us?
It's incredible to think that 1962, yeah, that Marvin Gaye and little Stevie Wonder were the lower draws, but
Yeah.
no one could have this thought about what it could turn into later on, I imagine. But 1976, a disc jockey, Rick Dees, hits number one in the US with Disco Duck, a goofy number that envisions Donald Duck enjoying the spoils of the disco era. It is the last novelty song to hit the top one, to hit the Hot 100.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't remember it well. I remember there was a song called Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor on the Bedpost Overnight? And there were lots of Halloween songs, but I didn't know that was the last one. That's Mika,
Mhm.
that's 50 years ago. Let's not even think that far back. The same day, the same year, 1976, Stevie Wonder's album. And this was how many years? 14 years after he was second on the bill at the Howard Theater in 62. Stevie Wonder's LP, long playing album, and we know it was vinyl. Songs in the Key of Life hit number one. I bought that album. Did you?
That was a little before my time, slightly before
Okay.
my time, but I do love that album. So.
Wonderful album. You've got the next one. Go.
Yeah. So in 1986, so 10 years later, Chuck Berry's 60th birthday bash in St. Louis, 3 days before his birthday, is a tribute concert featuring Keith Richards, Springsteen, Eric Clapton, Etta James, Robert Cray, Linda Ronstadt. And at that event, footage is filmed for the 1987 documentary Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll.
Well,
So
happy
that was an epic
birthday.
event.
Yeah, 1986, Chuck Berry was 60. That goes back in time. And let's all the way fast forward to 2001. Bob Dylan. This is a weird story. He was doing a concert at the Jackson County Exposition Center in Oregon. I lived in Oregon. I don't know exactly where that was, but I was in not in Jackson County. Guess what? He told the guards nobody gets in unless they have a credentialed pass. Well, guess what? Bob Dylan shows up for his own concert.
With no
Mika, he
credentials.
he didn't have any credentials, and they said, "Sorry, you can't get in." And they
Unreal.
said, "That's what you said, no exceptions." I'm assuming they let him in eventually, but seriously. So, Bob Dylan, carry your pass next time. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. Go, go, Mika.
You should know who the feature is and let him know. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Maybe they thought he was a fake. Okay.
Maybe a look-alike. So in 2010, Nicki Minaj, whose debut album is a month away, sets a record for the most entries on the Hot 100 at the same time, which I'm surprised that wouldn't be like Mariah Carey because I swear she's had a ton at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
anyways, so Nicki Minaj got the record in 2010, and with 11, number 11, Bottoms Up with Trey Songz, number 33, from 2012, It Ain't the End with Jay Sean. Number 42, What's Wrong with Them with Lil Wayne. Number 40, Letting Go with Daddy Love with Sean Kingston. Number 50, Check It Out with Will I Am. Number 61, Your Love. And number 74, Right Through Me. So that was an incredible record and apparently still stands.
Wow, that is quite a record. Seven songs at the same time. That's hit after hit after hit. And you
Mhm.
wonder who was the genius who put all those songs on the same album, Mika. Think about that. Who said,
Mhm.
this is what we're going to do? And maybe Nicki Minaj said, I like that song. I like that song. I like that song. Maybe it'll be a hit. And then they released them. Pow. That's quite a record. Good for her. Let's
Yeah.
go to famous birthdays, and the following people are all with us still today. That's called Alive. I'll start. Tim Robbins, the actor, is, well, we have some in memoriam. That's why I mentioned it. Tim Robbins is 67 today. Who knew? He's known for his roles in Shawshank Redemption, the film Bull Durham. Oh, yes. Jacob's Ladder, The Player, and The Hudsucker Proxy. I don't know that one. He was Dave Boyle. He played that character in Mystic River and earned the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And this is interesting. When he was a kid, his family moved to Greenwich Village in New York because his dad was a member of the folk group, the Highwaymen.
Mm.
I didn't know that. After high school, he formed an experimental theater group with his actor friends, including John Cusack. I see this, Mika, with a lot of these backstories that some of these well-known, accomplished actors went to school with other people who became well-known famous actors or actresses. Always surprises me how they seem to be in the same place at the same time so many years ago. You've got the next one. Who have you got?
All right. John Mayer is 48, singer, songwriter, and guitarist. After a short-lived rock duo in Lo-Fi Masters with Clay Cook, he was signed by Aware Records, a Columbia Records imprint. His first studio album, Room for Squares, which I loved, in 2001, included the single Your Body is a Wonderland, which won Best Male Pop Vocal Performance Grammy. By 2005, Mayer moved from acoustic music into blues and rock music, forming the John Mayer Trio. He's produced and provided music for Travis Scott, Alicia Keys, Jack Harlow, Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles, and Barbra Streisand. In 2015, three former Grateful Dead members, plus two others, joined Mayer to form the Dead and Company band. You know, he reminds me of Babyface. Like
Okay.
he writes for so many other people, and
I
just
know.
imagine if he kept all those hits for himself, like how many Grammys he would have, I guess.
That's a great point. And you know something? There were more people on that list, but I didn't know all the names. So I just put it
Yeah.
down to the ones I knew for you to read. So he wrote for and produced and did music for Barbara Streisand,
Is that
Harry Styles,
incredible?
Ed Sheeran. I thought Ed Sheeran did all his own stuff.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys? Are you kidding me? Happy birthday, John Mayer. 48. He's still a baby. Speaking about baby face,
Incredible.
there we go. Next one is Kelly Martin. The next three, two of them are not that well known, but they made the birthday list anyway. Kelly Martin, spelled Kellie. She's 50. She played Becca Thatcher on the TV series Life Goes On, which a lot of people saw. Very popular.
Hmm.
She also played Lucy Knight on the series ER. I don't remember that character, but I loved ER. That was the young George Clooney and Juliana Margulies and Anthony Edwards and so many others. Kelly Martin has 75 acting credits. She's been around, and interestingly enough, she started her career acting at 7 years old, Mika. That's kind of early.
Hmm.
Her aunt had some connections to actor Michael Landon, who was in all kinds of TV shows, and she
Hmm.
graduated from Yale University as an art history major. I don't know how she got into acting, but I like her a lot. So happy birthday, Kelly Martin,
Yeah.
50. Yeah.
She's one of those actresses where you don't know her name, but when you see her, you know who she is. You've seen her in so many different things.
That is correct. And you know, when I'm doing the research for this show, I look at the pictures and
Hmm.
I look at the picture and then the name and I say, have I ever seen that person? Ever seen their movies, their TV? Ever heard of them? Ever read any fan stuff about them? And if they're really unknown, they probably will not get on my list because
Right.
I have to have some. So you're absolutely right. When I saw Kelly Martin, I said, IE instead of Y. I know that. Yeah, I remember her. I've seen her in other things too. 75 acting credits. That's a lot.
Hmm.
And she's only 50. I wonder what she's going to do for the next 50 years. Happy birthday, Kelly Martin. You go. The
Absolutely.
next one is a favorite of mine, but I gave her to you. Go ahead.
Sure thing. Terry J. Vaughn, age 56, and that's Terry, Terri. She's a television actress who played the school secretary, Lovita Alize Jenkins Robinson, on the TV series The Steve Harvey Show, where she popularized the catchphrase, "Excuse you." She played Jonelle in the series All of Us from 2003 to 2005 and Renee on Meet the Browns. She has 1.2 million Instagram followers, so she's a very popular
Do you remember her
celebrity.
on the Steve Harvey show, Mika?
I
Did you ever?
do.
She used to say, "Excuse you,
Hmm.
excuse you." There was so much attitude in it. To me, she was, I love Steve Harvey, but she was one of the breakout stars on the show. I don't know what else she's done since then, but I guess she was in All of Us. But I, I,
Hmm.
I would know her if I
That was
saw her. That was her big
her
thing.
big
That was her
role.
breakthrough. And we have one more. We have a tennis player. Naomi Osaka is 28. Talk about babies. She won the Rising Stars Invitational Exhibition Tournament at the 2015 WTA Finals. Let's do the math, Mika. That's 10 years ago. She was
Incredible.
18. I know. She won her first Grand Slam after defeating who? Serena Williams.
Hmm.
3 years later at the U.S. Open Championship. And she also won the 2019 Australia Open and the 2020 US Open. Happy birthday, Naomi Osaka. And let me just do a quick, let me see if we can get an applause track here. I don't know if you can hear that. There we go. We're just going to stop that. There we go. Lots of applause. Okay, we have in memoriam now a couple of really big stars. I'm going to let you start this list. Go ahead, Mika.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you did because this one's close to my heart. Angela Lansbury, 1925 to 2022. I have so many memories of watching Murder, She Wrote. So I
Yes,
grew up watching that show every
yes.
single day. So not by choice, but my grandmother loved that show. And so I remember fondly sitting and watching it with her. So she's a Golden Globe winning actress who played Jessica Fletcher on the long-running TV series Murder, She Wrote and gained recognition for her role in was it, how do you pronounce it? Mamie? Was it
Mame. It was Mame, and
just
it was
Mame?
probably on Broadway. Yeah, Mame. A big,
Okay.
big. Look it up. You'll enjoy reading about it. Go ahead.
Okay. And she voiced the teapot Mrs. Potts in the 1991 animated film Beauty and the Beast, which I recognized her immediately as Mrs. Potts, knowing her from Murder, She Wrote. And she co-starred in the 2005 film Nanny McPhee with Emma Thompson.
Happy in
So happy
memoriam to
birthday,
Angela.
Angela.
What a lady. And so she had an interesting face. I wouldn't call her one
Hmm.
of the normal Hollywood beauties, but she had a wonderful voice. She had gravitas in her voice
Yes.
and she was everywhere. This was just a very brief bio. It could have taken up the whole show. Let's go along. I have one more and then you have one more after this. Oscar Wilde. Anybody remember him? Well, of course you don't. 1854 to 1900. He passed away at 46, but you may know some of his work. Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills. Wow, they had a lot of names in those days. He was an Irish author, a poet, and a playwright. He wrote in many different literary styles through the 1880s, and he became one of the most popular and influential dramatists in London in the early 1890s. He's regarded as the greatest playwright of the Victorian era. You might not remember his name, but you may have heard of his Gothic novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, who never got old. Also, Oscar Wilde had epigrams, plays, and bedtime stories for children, and I think he's often quoted as "It be yourself because everyone else is taken." I think that's an Oscar Wilde quote or it's misquote, but I know that one. And you've got one more in memoriam
Love that
for
one.
us.
Yes, Suzanne Summers, another one I grew up watching. I love her from Three's Company. She was in the television roles of Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, 1977 to 1981, and Carol Foster Lambert on Step by Step, 1991 to 1998. And she played a passenger on the first episode of The Love Boat for Three's Company. Her Chrissy show exemplified blonde stereotypes and was employed as an office secretary. She wrote more than 25 books, which I didn't know she wrote that many. I remember her cookbooks, but I did not know she wrote 25 books
I
and
agree.
two autobiographies, four diet books, and two books of poetry. Sorry, and a book of poetry. She advertised the Thigh Master exercise device. I remember those infomercials that would come on super late at
I
night
know,
with the
I
Thigh
know.
Master.
Yeah.
And for her and Jane Fonda, right?
Yes, no
And
comment.
yes, and 14 of her books were bestsellers, and most focused on health and well-being. In the 1980s, Summer headlined the MGM Grand and the Las Vegas Hilton. In 1986, she was voted the LV Las Vegas Female Entertainer of the Year.
In
Isn't that
memoriam,
awesome?
happy remembering birthdays of Angela They all made an impact on culture in so many ways. Angela Lansbury passed at 96, Oscar Wilde passed at 46, and Suzanne Summers passed at 76. I didn't realize that. We had a whole bunch of sixes in there. No comment on
Hmm.
six. We won't talk about that. Okay, let's go to social media. I just realized what I said. Let's go to social media star birthdays. I'll start out with YouTube. We have a young lady, and she's young, 22-year-old Andy L. Andie. Elle. L is she in French. She has 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube and one video. The reason she's here, Mika, is not just because she has 1.5 million, but one video got 43 million views. Can you
Amazing.
even imagine? She posts vlogs, or some people say vlogs, and interview content in short form. I don't know who she interviews, but she had a viral short with where did she come from? I don't know who the subject was of that or the subjects. That's the one that got 43 million views. And she also recorded interviews in front of a neon colored McLaren. I don't know where she got that car, but maybe it was parked somewhere and she said,
It
"Quick,
does
let's
sound
go over."
interesting.
I know. Go ahead. You've got one.
All right. So the next one is Lauren Flyman. She is 34 and she has 2.5 million subscribers on Lauren Jumps account. She posts of herself jumping rope and doing skipping tricks. You know, you can get famous doing anything these days. That is a talent. That is difficult. I used to be on like a jump rope team when I was in, yeah, when I was young. I mean, I was like elementary school, but it's difficult. We did competitive jump roping, so I do know how difficult that can be. So
Really?
she was a weightlifter who picked up a rope first in April 2020 when UK gyms were closed. And there you go. The rest is history.
So weightlifting and jump roping, do those have
Hmm.
anything to do with each other, Mika, or are we
Yeah,
just
absolutely. A lot of
Oh,
weightlifters use jump rope as an
oh,
exercise.
that's right. I've seen them in the gym going jump, jump, jump. Okay. All
Hmm.
right. So she turned that into an art form. Let's go to TikTok now. We have another young lady, 23 years old, named Natalia Joanna, Joanna, 1N, 1.4 million plus subscribers. She posts short form content and trending dance performances set to popular songs. Interesting to me that in all of my TV work and radio work, I cannot play licensed music unless I have either a license to do it or I have permission. And yet on social media, they're using licensed music. I didn't realize how that happened. She teaches urban dance at a studio and online. In May 2023, several of her TikToks went viral with 1 million views apiece. I can't even. And on Instagram, she has sharing her dance and modeling content. Mika, what's interesting to me is most of these people who are on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are on multiple channels. So if they're on
Yes.
Insta, they might have come from TikTok. They might have started on Vine. They might have started on YouTube and gone to TikTok. So they understand, you're in marketing, they understand the value of spreading the wealth of who you are and what your content is across multiple channels to get different audiences. Do you agree with that?
I would say yes, there is value in spreading to different audiences, but as I talked about at the beginning with what I do, you have to know what audience is going to drive value for your business. So there can be a certain value to that, but if those people don't actually drive your bottom line, then it also might not be the best use of your time. So it depends. If your business is driving views, if views is your business, then yes. But if your business is to sell a product, then ultimately, if you want to use that virality of short form videos to drive people to longer form content where they can engage and actually move towards a sale.
Very interesting. And you have one more on YouTube for us.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Who you got?
Absolutely. So on YouTube, Maurice Bennett, he's 38 and he has 3 million subscribers total combined on his three channels. So Blasphemous HD TV, Blasphemous HD Gaming, and Blasphemous HD Pranks. And he is best known for his Let's Plays vlogs over game, which is gameplay footage. So a lot of people do this format where basically they have themselves and then the gameplay footage and do pretty well with that. So that's one of his formats, as well as music parodies and video gaming voiceover dubs.
Isn't that interesting? And I was talking about multiple channels. He's got three channels on
Hmm.
YouTube, which
Yeah.
combined have 3 million. I don't know what the split is, whether they're each a million, but he is basically saying, I'm blasphemous. That's the point. Maurice Barnett, I'm blasphemous. So he's got the TV, the gaming, and the pranks. Very,
Hmm.
very interesting. Okay. And you were going to help me segment my YouTube because I've got all my shows on one YouTube channel. You and I'll talk about
Yeah,
that later. Let me see if I can get
absolutely.
an applause track here for all of these birthdays. Let's see if we there we go. There we go. There we go. Louder, 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 louder. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Happy birthday to all. Now we're going to go into our wacky holidays. I'll start off with Dictionary Day. I love words. Do you love language and words, Mika, like I do?
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Absolutely.
thought this was a good one for us. I look for interesting, wacky holidays. Today, everyone, is National Dictionary Day. So, 1758, yes, I know it's a little while ago, Noah Webster became the father of the dictionary, born in Hartford, Connecticut. Yay for Hartford. His father, a farmer and craftsman, and his stay-at-home mother, I guess they had those in those days, led a very middle-class, typical colonial family life. When Noah was 16 years old, he went to Yale, which was the first college in Connecticut. Law was too expensive. They didn't have a lot of money. So he said, I'll go be a teacher. Okay. Well, I guess somebody was glad about that. Who have you got?
Uh, you want me to continue with
Yep. You go do the
okay.
next one.
Okay, so 1783, Webster felt compelled to reform the American academic system in language. So his first textbook was issued and covered the grammar of the English language. With its blue cover, it was known as the Blue-backed Speller and became the most popular book in the US at the time. Can you believe that? A spelling book was the most
I
popular
I
book in the US.
can't. People must have been hungry for language, for communication, and these were early days. Today we used to be you have a dictionary on your shelf, a great big one, a little one. I loved vintage ones that weighed
Hmm.
20 pounds.
Hmm.
You'd buy in an antique store. I had a couple of those, and you put them on a stand somewhere, and everybody says, "Oh, look at your dictionary." I know, I know, I know. And now it's all online. Give me a break. In 1801, he moved to Amherst, Massachusetts, and he founded Amherst College. Then he moved back to New Haven.
Incredible.
Noah was a busy guy. Mika, you've got the next one.
Okay. In 1806, his first edition of the American English Dictionary, Webster corrected English spellings to American English, advocating for simplified spellings that aligned with American pronunciation. His dictionary helped standardize this change, removing the U from words like humor, honor, and color in neighbor. And
That's
Webster respelled music as music, music with a K to music without K at the end, just with a C. His best selling dictionary defined 37,000 words.
I can't even imagine. That was 1806. I don't know how much. Well, we'll get
Hmm.
to how many we have now. They also took the U, I believe, out of glamour.
Yeah.
Glamour. Well, yeah, maybe they still do. They still have the U in glamour? I think they do.
I think it
Glamou.
still is. No, it's not in. Yes, you're right. You're right. It is still in Glamour.
Glamour
But
magazine.
it's not in neighbor. There's a bunch of words I know because I'm Canadian, right? So I have
Yeah, yeah. Well, you say
I have to
things.
stop myself from putting the U in a bunch of words when I'm spelling
I
in.
can always tell where somebody's from the way they spell certain things. And then let's
Uh-huh.
go to 18. We're still in the 1800s, Bonnie. Pay attention. 1828. Noah Webster dedicated the next 22 years. This is commitment like we don't usually see anymore to
Incredible.
editing and adding new words. He probably woke up and said, okay, what are 10 or 100 new words I can add today? When he was 70 years old, he published his new dictionary. Now, you were talking in 1806, Mika, 37,000 words. In 1828, that is 14 years, 12 years later, 22 years later, sorry, I have that in writing here. He had 65,000 words, which is a little shy of double. He was busy. You've got last one on him. What you got?
So he's literally dedicated his life to this, and this next stat really shows that because in 1843, so out on top of that, almost another 20 years, he after Webster died in 84, sorry, at 84, he Webster's GNC Merriam Cope purchased the rights to an American dictionary of the English language. Merriam brothers George and Charles continued to refine Webster's dictionary. Merriam-Webster, which is what we know this
Mm-hmm.
collection as today, most comprehensive dictionary, the Webster's third new international dictionary, unabridged, includes, you're never going to guess this, 470,000. So we went from 65,000 to now 470,000 entries. The Collegiate Dictionary 12th edition will be released on November 18th, 2025 this year, with over 169,000 words, 157,000 phrases, and over 5,000 new words.
So
So
that's
we're
the
still adding words.
collegiate one has 100. Yeah. Okay. Words and phrases.
Hmm.
Interesting. But the international unabridged has 470,000. Wow. Very interesting. I was intrigued that there's one coming out a little more, about a month from today. It's coming out, actually. Very
Hmm.
interesting. Do you use the built-in thesaurus or dictionary when you're writing or doing your marketing work? What do you use for word lookups, Mika?
I sometimes. So I don't find the ones that are built in always the most comprehensive. So I do use that one, but I have other dictionaries, supporting dictionaries that I use as well. Sometimes I find them more helpful.
Well, I've learned a trick. I do a lot of poetry for a poetry group, and I don't use AI for my poetry, but I'm sometimes looking for interesting words, talking about language. And I've learned I can just put into my search bar in Google verbs starting with you and it will come up. Many sites will present me with lists of
Oh,
verbs.
that's
Some of them
great.
will
That is
have the
great.
words with meanings and links to more, a whole list of everything they mean. And I'll say positive adverbs starting with T, and it'll give me. So I've learned to just go absolutely for the raw search on what I'm looking
Yeah,
for. Because I do acrostics, so the first letter of each line is part of a word that was the title of the poem, and
that is
so
so
I'll go
awesome.
and it works out really well. Or I'll
There
just
are power dictionaries too, which I find are more comprehensive and like
mhm.
detailed than the built-in dictionary. So if you search for power dictionary, I don't remember the name, like the URL of the one that I like the most, but I know it when I see it.
I'll look for that. I also sometimes use the built-in thesaurus in
Hmm.
Microsoft
Hmm.
Word, where it's one of the tools under spelling. It says thesaurus, Pani D, and very, very interesting. It'll give me a list of. It'll say, okay, if this was a verb, these are the synonyms. If it was an adjective, it was in different uses of the word. Those are not always what I'm looking for, but that's usually my first line of defense. But I love looking
Love
up
that.
words, word types that start with a certain letter for my acrostics, and it's fun. I mean, I might get a list of 50 or 100 words, and I whatever lights up my brain, I say that's the word I want. So it's interesting way to search anyway. So
That's a
have
good mental exercise too, I think.
it's Fabulous. It's just, well, it is for me anyway. I'm doing pretty well. Okay, you've got the next holiday you're going to start for us. And what have we got
Uh,
next?
I'm so glad you gave me this. Thank you. I am a cat lover.
I
Global
didn't know
Cat Day.
that.
Global Cat Day.
Global Cat Day.
So, 7500 BC, cats and humans unite. Evidence of this close relationship between cats and humans goes back 9,500 years. A Neolithic grave excavated in Cyprus contains skeletons of humans and a cat, of a human and a cat.
Interesting. Okay. I wonder if the cat had a name. I wouldn't know that already. 4,000 years ago, ancient Egyptians domesticated felines by keeping them near places where they stored food. Why? We know the cats went after the vermin and other pests, mouse, mouse, not in the house, and cats earned a reputation as great hunters. So that was considered the first domestication. Okay. Go ahead.
Cats and from 1950s to 1960s, cats roam U.S. neighborhoods freely before the invention of marketing of clay litter. It wasn't until the 1960s that litter boxes caught on. Who
I
knew?
didn't know that. Who knew is right. Now, I
Neither did
had to
I.
put this one in, Cats the musical. I had to put this in. It wasn't in the history lookup, but I went and did it last night. The sung through musical with music by Andrew Lloyd Webber is based on T.S. Eliot's, I didn't know this, 1939 poetry collection called Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. Did you know that, Mika? Did you
I
know?
did not know that.
I have no, we got to go find it. It's the story of a tribe of cats called the Jellicles, and the night they decide which cat will ascend to the Heaviside layer and come back to a new life. Cats opened at the New London Theatre in London's West End in 1981 and at the Winter Garden Theatre on Broadway. Let me lower my hand because I keep switching pictures here. At the Winter Garden Theatre on Broadway in 1982. So it made a debut in each London and New York a year
Mhm.
apart. The initial investor said, nah, show about cats. Why would we invest in that? Well, guess what? It
They
has
were
so
sorry.
far grossed 3.5 billion with a B by 2012. That is 13 years ago. Unprecedented success. As of 2024, Cats remains the fifth longest running Broadway show and the eighth longest running in London's West End. So I had to put that in. You've got the next one.
That's incredible. 1990, the original cat ladies, Becky Robinson and a friend, discover an alley with 56 feral cats in Washington, D.C., neighborhood of Adams Morgan. With the cats' caregivers' help, they humanely trapped the cats and had them neutered and returned them to their outdoor homes. Later, Robinson begins alley cat alley alley cat alleys.
Or allies. I had to, I don't know which way they put, I
Alley
don't
cat
know.
allies. Okay.
When I worked at WGBB Radio, AM 1240, the oldest AM station on Long Island, it was in a house in East Patchogue, Long Island, way out on the island, and there was a big parking lot in behind this house they had turned into a studio, and there were
Mm,
feral cats and other things like raccoons in that parking lot. And when I was broadcasting, I was a Friday night drive time host from 6 to 7 p.m., I think, Eastern time. I would go outside and this place was just roaming with feral cats, and I think there were possums. And so I would have somebody from the station, if anybody else was there, my engineer, walk me out and protect me because these eyes were staring at me from,
wow.
I know, that's my only brush, almost brush with feral cats. Speaking of which, yes, I know, in 2001, Feral Cat Day was organized by Mika likes Alley Cat Allies. I like Alley Cat Allies. We're not sure which one, but either they're allies in the alley or something like that to strengthen support for humane policies to protect cats worldwide.
Love
Okay.
that. So in 2015, cats go viral. The number of cat videos on YouTube tops 2 million, with the average views 12,000, higher than any other YouTube content category. It makes sense to it totally makes sense to me. I am one of those people who's driving these viral and sharing them. Cats make up 16% of views in YouTube's pet and animals category. I'm making a cat channel. That's it. I'm making a channel for my
And I'm
cats.
going to let you finish this since your favorite, this is your favorite with cats. I'm going to let you finish the last
Absolutely.
one.
So
Go ahead.
2016, Alley Cat Allies rebranded Feral Cat Day as Global Cat Day because it was time for our annual event to reflect what's been true all along. We inspire and share information with cat advocates all around the world.
I
I
think
love
that was
that.
absolutely wonderful. I hope you had a good time. Let's go out with the music, Mika Carter. It was
Absolutely.
absolutely
Thank you for
I
having me.
hope you'll come back. Here we go. Let's dance our way out of here. Meow.
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 cat ears.
Is there a cat?
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
It's your day.
Someone's day.
We're celebrating
Oh, she's
you in
dancing.
a special way.
Special way.
Party shine,
Shine.
laugh and smile.
Oh,
We're celebrating you in style.
Mika, you were a lovely co-host. Thank you so much. Wave
Thank you.
goodbye and let's get this party over with. Everybody